This is exactly what the Houston Rockets needed after another victory tonight over the Toronto Raptors. There are a few key things coming onto this Rocket squad that need to be talked about as to why they will be successful later on in this season. Welcome into Rockets Digest, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you tuning in to today's show. By the way, I want to say a quick thank you. We reached a milestone hitting 6,000 subscribers. Thank you to everybody who has hit that subscribe button. However, I got notice today that Thunder Digest is challenging us to a sub battle, and they're at 7,000 subscribers, or at least closing in on that. So we need to get our sub numbers up. So if you're looking for daily Rockets content throughout the entire 2025-26 NBA season, we got you covered. Go down there and hit that subscribe button. The Houston Rockets tonight beat the Toronto Raptors 139-121. We're going to talk about the game a little bit, but I do want to talk more in depth about certain things that I'm seeing, not just in this game, but in the Brooklyn Nets game, that are becoming a little bit more common, and things that I really do believe will be the reason of success into this season, and things that if we can develop even more, can really make this season an NBA title contending year. I first want to look at the score column here, though, because there's a couple of interesting things. First of all, 39 points in the first quarter and 36 points in the third quarter. I always say this, but I truly do believe it, that Ime Udoka is the best coach in the NBA when it comes to adjustments and original game plan and scheme. That's proven right there. When you look at the scores, you can see immediately the biggest points were in the first quarter, when you're coming off, going into your regular game plan, your regular scheme, and then after half in the third quarter, when you're coming on, okay, you saw what you saw, now how can you improve on it? And he improves in a very, very good way. Continuing on, let's look at the stat sheets from these teams. We'll start with the Houston Rockets, obviously. 31 for KD and 25 for Jabari Smith Jr. Going to talk about them a lot here in today's video. Alperen Şengün was plus 24 and had 18 points, by the way, 1 for 2 behind the arc. Definitely improved his three-point shooting this offseason with Turkey. 6 for 8 from the field. Very good shooting night percentage-wise for Alperen Şengün. Did miss 3 free throws. Definitely something that the Rockets want to be better at, and the free throw line. 3 missed free throws as well tonight for Kevin Durant. Those will be more important later on, but right now we can live with it, especially since you win the game. 10 points for Josh Okogie. Had 2 for 3, but from behind the arc. Okogie, really, I did not expect him to play this much, but he is such a good defender and really kind of fits the scheme. And the way that I see it, he's the Rockets have 4 starters and a rotating 5th and 6th man. That's really what this team is, in my opinion. I don't really think that anybody else, a part of Alperen, Jabari, KD, and Amen, deserve a starting role right now. Like Tari's had a couple of games, but you're not going to start him with the way the offense is. So Josh Okogie's the starter now. Tari Eason had 14, Steven Adams had 12, 4 for Clint Capella, and Reed Sheppard had 7. Couple of good things from that stat sheet. The first one is that Jabari Smith Jr. and Kevin Durant are really starting to look good together, and that's where I kind of want to go into a little bit more talk about these two, because people always talked about how similar Jabari Smith played, looked, and just his game reminded people of Kevin Durant. And so you always bring up the tweet that Woj, a long time ago when the Rockets were involved in a bigger trade but got some picks, he was like, well, the game plan for the Rockets, they're going to go after Kevin Durant. And guess what? They got him. But there's an even deeper meaning behind that. I really do think that the Rockets, once they had Jabari Smith, knew that we can legit create the next Kevin Durant if we grab Kevin Durant, because Jabari Smith Jr. has all the intangibles. And tonight, they looked like the same player. Like, Jabari was pulling up in the elbow, doing KD's little fadeaway shot. The way that their ball movement was kind of matching each other, the way they looked, it just reminded me so much that they are so similar, and they are, built from the same frame. And so the exciting thing for me is, and things that I've kind of gotten to talk about with a couple of Rockets friends, is that people think right now the Rockets have Kevin Durant for the next 2 years. And while that's true, I really do think that the Rockets have Kevin Durant for the next, hopefully, 10 years, because they're going to have their true Kevin Durant for the next 2. And then 3 years now, I guess. When he retires, though, Jabari Smith Jr. is going to be that next Kevin Durant. He is. So you get to see that kind of growth and formulation right now as Kevin Durant teaches, like I said, hopefully the next Kevin Durant. But let's take a look at the Raptors stat sheet real quick, kind of talk about them. 29 for Brandon Ingram. Had a really good game, but the big thing for me, he was 5 for 7 from behind the arc, 11 for 16 from the field. Three-point shooting was crazy. Scotty Barnes had 31 again, 4 for 7 from behind the arc, 11 for 18 from the field. 15 for Emmanuel Quickly, 13 for Colin Murray-Boyles, and then 10 points for R.J. Barrett. Not too many bench points for the Toronto Raptors. You can kind of look over here and see that there was just 4 points for Grady Dick, 6 points for Jamal Shed, the 10 points there up top for Sandro. Nothing really crazy against the Raptors. The big thing that I want to talk about, and the reason why this game was ever inherently close, was because of the three-point percentage. 21 for 40. The crazy part about that is they hit 21. The other crazy part about that, they shot 40 three-pointers and hit over half of them. At one point, they were 12 for 20. I know that basically it's the same math, but I mean, it was kind of wild how well they were shooting the three-point percentage. Field goal percentage-wise, though, obviously Rockets outmatched them. Three-point percentage for the Rockets, still pretty good, 43.3%. Free throws could have been better for the Rockets. They did shoot 34 free throws, though, so definitely something to note. Rebounding, though, was the big deal. 53 rebounds for the Houston Rockets and 22 for the Toronto Raptors. That's a huge reason why the Rockets were able to have the largest lead of 21. Meanwhile, the Raptors' largest lead was 5. So the takeaways from this game, what exactly is the success route moving forward? I think, first of all, it's the way Steven Adams continues to honestly look game in and game out. I don't really expect, I'm not going to say I expect too much from him, but I like that we're seeing good games after good games after good games from him, because if you see Steven Adams in this stat sheet, 12 points, 12 rebounds, and a plus 14 ratio off the bench. The plus minus is where I look at it. And you think about that, double-double, 12 points, 12 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal for Steven Adams. The double big is such a useful thing. I think we've realized now you can't start the double big, but even without that, Steven Adams is such a reliable and great backup guy to have in that center position. He's going to get your rebounds. He's going to be great plus-minus wise. Offensive rebounds, he's been spectacular at. And it makes me feel like this is a forthcoming of how the Rockets can play the rest of the season, as they'll start Josh Okogie with everybody, and it's going to be kind of that rotating 5th and 6th man. They'll have 4 true starters and have that 6th guy or 5th guy be kind of whoever that night feels like it, and whatever lineup, it kind of suggests. One last thing I want to talk about is, of course, the play of Jabari and Kevin Durant. They combined for 56 points tonight against the Raptors, and in my mind, if they can continue to, first of all, build off each other, grow off each other, then, like I said, you're going to have 2 KDs for the rest of, or a KD for the next 10 years. You could have 2 KDs for the next 3 years, because that's how good Jabari has been looking over the past couple games. I want to see this continue. I know that this is just the Toronto Raptors. I know that this is not exactly the tip-top tier of the NBA. The Raptors are a good team in the East. The East is not good in my opinion, though. The West is where it's at, so you win 2 games, you're back to even 500, and you are feeling in a better spot after the rough 2-game start where you lost to the Pistons, and of course that double OT loss to start off your season against the Thunder. Now it's about keeping the momentum, keeping the right lineup out there, keeping the right scheme out there. It seems like Ime Udoka has found the right way he wants to play these guys and kind of use the forwards in the right way and use the point guards and the wings and all that in the right way. And hopefully that success can continue, and we'll kind of see what the movement is from here on out. So that's what happened in tonight's game. We appreciate you hanging in with us. Obviously, we'll keep you updated on all things Rockets tomorrow. Whether we want to talk about Josh Okogie and the impact he's had and kind of what exactly he's been, how important of a piece he's been this season, kind of shockingly. So might make a video on that, but we'll have some updates as well for the Rockets. So we'll see you tomorrow. We hope you have a great day. And, for now, peace out, guys.